Hello, one and all. Hello, hello, hello. Or should I say what? Or I shouldn't say that yet because we haven't started yet. We are the Campaign Coins team. I'm Jackson. I'm here with Mark. And we are playing a terribly exciting new game on stream for the first time of BEOWULF Age of Heroes, which is the new setting slash rules extension for 5e. And we're playing the first adventure as such, called the Hermit Sanctuary, and that's about all I can tell you, because I'm sitting here and I'm going to play it, but Mark is the one who's going to be running it, so I should hand it over to him.
All right, Beowulf, new from Games Handiwork. The PDF drops on 16th of February. Our adventure today is written by John Hodgson and Jacob Rogers, and it is a cracker. There's only two of us because this is a game for just two people. A Gamemaster, that would be me, and a hero. That would be Jackson. We'll meet exactly who he is in a moment. But I just wanted to say that Beowulf, of course, is an epic and foundational poem written somewhere, or would have been just told in mead halls and halls in the 8th to 11th century. The first written version is about the 11th century. It's an Anglo-Saxon story. But as I sit here in my hometown of Bendigo, I acknowledge that I am here on the traditional lands of the Jar Jar Waring and the Tanduring people of the Kulin Nation. Stories have gone on for 60,000 years in our country. The Anglo-Saxons, they're just newcomers. So I acknowledge and extend my appreciation to the Jar Jar Wearing people, the traditional owners of the land that I'm on. And this is an important thing to say because there is some extreme bullshit surrounding Anglo-Saxon things. And in fact, if you buy Beowulf, part of the proceeds for this is donated to anti-racism causes. So we reject that. We pay respect to leaders and elders past, present and emerging. They hold the memories, traditions, culture and hopes of the Jar Jar Waring people. So stories are important. Stories are how we make sense of the world and understand it. And these stories were told in the dark, for there were monsters outside. So this story begins. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. All right. Listen! A far-flung tale, mist-mantled, rune-deep, surrounded by the whale's way, a speck of footfall, firmly set upon a bright blue shield. The stone boss boldly sits, battle-battered by billow maidens, ancient bearers of grave and grove. Home of bristleback boar, racked by wild winds keening. Gulls wheeling screech its scops. Baleful beaked eagles unlock their word hoard. Bitter brine, not balming beer, is lapped by that weird wrought isle. Once a holy held place, a blessing not bane to honest kin. In hearth of deep-delved slaughter, its leavings glut the grey-cloaked wolf. Gorges the black ravens, bent beak feast giver for Woden's greedy birds. Moon-bleached, snow-skinned, shield breaker, blood drinker. A pale scabbard for a sword host of battle. Bold warriors, hardened half-troop, wreak their craft. Battle lights sing but do not sever. Blood embers swing, harmless in their hewing. No war sweat stricken from war needles striking. Forge-fired handiwork of smiths have no power present there. Weird unravelled, blades bite dulled, fates weave woe in warp and weft. And the scop in the mead hall in Northumbria steps back as the people cheer as another great epic verse is told around the longhouse. The fire is blazing, there is plentiful mead, and your lord, bald Eadig, is toasting you. Who do we see? Who is this bald Eadig? What manner of man is he?
Here he is. He's Eadig and he's bald. What more do you need to know? Bald Eadig is a middle-aged man of barrel chest and scant of hair, apart from the luscious red beard that sprouts from his face. What else to say about him? He is, of the most part, of a relatively quiet temperament. He's good-natured, he's good-humoured, until you get him in the wrestling ring. And then he will pin you and wrestle you and sit on you just to prove how big and strong he is. Yeah, I don't know much about him. I think we're about to find out.
All right, and I will just tell you mechanically, he is a hero in the game of Beowulf, and he is a bench breaker. So he is a large, strong man, and he is beloved by his lord. And lords are important. These are dark times, the time of the Age of Heroes. The Whaleway stretches across, we would call it the Baltic Sea now, between England and Europe. You are in the north of England, in Northumbria, and beyond this longhouse is the forest, and the forest is dark. The Romans came here and tried to conquer this land. They failed. The Saxons have done their best. The Angles, the Normans are still coming. But the forest is dark and uncut, and there are monsters around the edge of the world. And that's why you need the strength of a hero and of a lord who is hailing you. And of course, you've on the bench behind you are all your followers. And they are there. There is yeah, indeed. There is Nut the Old, so he's very grizzled and saying, I'm getting thirsty. Speak up. There's Leofgood, who's a proud and kind of straightforward warrior. There's Sarwin. She is a merchant and she follows you loyally, but she's always kind of making some trades on the side because she knows that she is not the hero in this story, but she's going to make bank on it. There is Eastmund. What can we say about Eastmund? Eastmund is big, he's loyal, and he's not that bright. But let's go back to the part where he's big. And then at the end of the bench, giving you the side eye, as he always does, is Thormund. Thormund is not the hero of this story. Thormund wants to be the hero of this story. But he has your back. Your back. So those are all your followers, your proud band. But your lord is saying, Eadig, is it true that you wrestled a boar?
Well, I don't like to talk to it over much, you know.
Tell us the story, and everyone around is like, yeah, let's have the story. Where were you?
Well, I was back at home, back up my farm, up ways, and well, I had the neighbours' kids round for supper. We were having a little feast. One of the little ones, Eddie was his name, got a little bit big in his boots and decided to have a walk around after dark. He slipped out without any of us noticing. Until that is, we heard a high-pitched scream, pierced the
You're
night
in
air.
the forest, and you can hear a high-pitched scream. It is of the child, Eadig, that you are looking for. Your followers. Oh, this is back when you're on the farm. There are no followers here. They're not around yet. You're by yourself. This must be the moment when you became a hero. So you need to roll initiative for me.
Oh boy!
As there is a high-pitched scream, and something is a crashing and a gnashing through the forest.
Outstanding, we're there already. All right, here comes my initiative roll. I call that a 10 plus my initiative bonus, which I will find on my sheet any moment now. Well, my dex is +1, so I guess it must be +1.
All right, so I'm going to roll for the boar. There she blows. Rolls a 10.
Ooh.
Has no dexterity bonus. You have just beaten it. So you see emerging through the forest. And because I'm not looking at Twitch, do we have our battle cam up, Jackson?
Oh, any moment now we will. Check
Excellent.
this out. Look at this.
Fantastic.
Look at this
All right.
technology.
Look at this. My God, it's a virtual tabletop that you can stick your hand in because I'm old. All right, and here we have the man of the moment, the hero himself. There is Bald Eadig. And this could be the prequel in which he dies. Let's find out. But there up in the distance, he sees a massive boar, and as the forest is kind of trembling to its footfalls as it's crashing full speed now, running down through the forest. You can see that as dappled moonlight is coming through the branches in that thick green canopy, the child is wailing. You don't quite know where the child is, but metal is glinting off the face of the boar. And as the beast rushes forward, you can see that, in fact, it has ringmail on its head where it has smashed into some warrior. Oh, that's what happened to Beowulf, and has obliterated him, and now wears his corpse like a sick crown. So this maddened beast is roaring down upon you. You have the initiative. What would you like to do?
If it's roaring down on me, I will get low to the ground and get ready to meet it in combat. And I think has it got tusks? How many tusks are we talking here?
It has two large tusks.
All right. Well, if God has graced that thing with weapons, I don't feel a need to throw mine down just yet. So I guess I'll just get out my spear and angle it towards it and wait for it to collide with it.
Is it a boar spear? Did you grab a boar spear? Boar spear is very important. It has a crossbar.
It sounds like I did.
And actually, there is a rule in Beowulf. There is an actual rule. I'm not lying to you. You always have a spear. Wherever you are, in the middle of the ocean, you just reach out, someone hands you a spear. So spears are free. You just go, spear, and one appears in your hand. So you have your boar spear. Very important when the boar's running on you to have the crossbar because you don't want the tusk coming down the spear. All right. Am I correct that you are holding your action to set the spear against the charge?
I am, yeah. I'm hoping it's going to use, some of its momentum to impale itself so I can just use my weight to my advantage.
Let us see how that goes. It is now its go, and it does exactly as you expect. It charges down upon you, which is good news for poor little Jack, who's now kind of shrieking through the woods. As bang, 30 feet, here it comes. Because you've set spear against it, you get to attack first.
Outstanding.
Its armor class is 11.
All right, here comes my spear. I've got a +6. Oh my goodness, am I level 1? I'm first
You
level.
are
I've
a
got
Beowulf.
+6.
How many hit points do you have?
I have too many to count, by which I mean 25. Oh my goodness.
Beowulf level 1 heroes. This is a 5th edition game, but you are a little bit juiced up. So, make your spear attack.
I'd love to. It's a natural 1.
That is because you said you would meet it as it was. So clearly, as you're holding the spear, and this is your weird, this is your weft. In that moment, you knew truly you were going to drive this spear through its chest, as you have many times. But the dice, you just feel your hands just let go of it, and you go into the wrestling crouch. That's the way it goes down. So, because we know that, because this is a prequel. So, I'm going to give you another roll because you're a hero.
Really?
Instead, you can try to grab it.
I would love to grapple it, which I believe is usually an athletics roll for me.
That is exactly what it is.
All right, I've got an athletics of +6, so that's pretty good news. 17 to wrestle this boar.
Oh my goodness. And the boar has rolled a 10 on its strength athletics, which means you have wrestled it. You have grabbed the boar. It is now pinned.
Are we talking?
It cannot move.
If it's still my turn, I am a grappler, which means I can use my bonus action to make a single unarmed attack against a creature with a +1. So I would care to do that if I may.
What are you exactly doing with your body now that you've grabbed this boar?
I guess I'm just trying to drive its tusks into the ground.
Okay, you're pushing it down,
just to get
flipping it over,
just to get them sheathed and out of the way.
Okay, its armor class is 11. Good luck.
Outstanding. I will roll an 11.
Hey! Okay, that does D4 plus your strength bonus.
Outstanding. Where is it? D4 when you need one. There it is. We are talking 6 damage.
6 damage. All right. So as the boar has charged down upon you in a move of tremendous heroism, and this is why you're the hero of the story, you have basically just jumped up and seized it and pushed its snout down. It's like the whole boar gets pushed nose first into the forest loam and is kind of flipping up as its back legs are kind of kicking in the air.
Outstanding.
It's twisting. It's shrieking. Can I do a boar shriek? I don't know if I've got it in me. That'll have to do. And turning its mighty body, a vicious tusk splits up because just because you're holding it doesn't mean it can't fight you.
Has it got disadvantage on a roll because I'm grappling it? I can't remember if that's how the rule works.
You wish for such things, but I'll tell you one thing: is that you have broken its charge
Outstanding.
by slowing it down. So shebang! It rolls a terrible roll. That would be an 11. How did that work out for it? No, sorry, 13.
13 as I search, and this is why you study your character sheet before the game, folks. Here we go. My AC is 13.
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Jackson, for all the Twitch overlay.
Hey.
We couldn't do it without you. So you were busy. I forgive you and take 7 points of damage as you grab the boar to face plant it. But as you are twisting its body over, possibly trying to break its back, I'm a vegetarian, but you know this boar's trying to kill him. I'm okay with that. 7 points of damage as you are ripped. Okay, new round begins. You start. What do you do?
All right. Am I still grappling it by any chance?
You are, absolutely.
All right. In that case, let me have another go with my spear. And because I'm still grappling it, I'm going to have advantage on this roll, thanks to my grapple feat.
Sweet.
Which I believe has some special effects in Beowulf when you have advantage on a roll. I've got 2 colored dice here.
Thank you.
What's that good for?
All right, so you are you're a Christian.
I'm of the book.
You find that there is comfort in the book in these dark times with these shadows at the edge of the world, and you feel that God is a light. Whereas others who have long toiled here, they say that always we live, the gods are of the land and there are many gods. So whenever you have advantage in Beowulf, you roll 2 dice. And you say, this is my always dice and this is my book dice. And you roll them. And then, as usual with advantage, you choose the one you want. If the one that you designate as the book comes up is the dice you choose, then you're actually going to get inspiration. So
Right.
You're an inspiration-making machine. God inspires you.
Outstanding.
Good luck.
I'm going to have a roll. All right. Well, my alignment die was a 5, so that's not great. But my regular die was a 13. But I believe I have the option to take the 5 anyway, just so that I can have inspiration.
Well,
and take the miss.
You certainly could. That is the case. Yeah. But you've hit the boar. The boar already is. You can feel as you're straining towards this boar. You've just about got it where you want it, as far as taking it down.
Do you know what? I'll leave the inspiration die for now, and I'll just take the 13 plus 6 is 19.
Boom.
I believe I have this spear
Actually-
in. Oh yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, spear. No, you eschewed your spear. Remember, you eschewed it. You dropped it with a 1.
That's
so
true.
You've flailed out looking for the spear, didn't find it. You'll have to use your strong left arm.
Then that's what I'll
instead.
do. All right, so that is what I have done with the 17. So
Right.
I'm going to do a little bit more damage here.
Well, actually, either of those rolls will hit 5 and 6.
Oh,
It's
really?
only got an class of 11. So, yes, you have your inspiration. You are inspired by God. And look
Excellent.
at this. That's a Beowulf inspiration token, which we made for the Kickstarter. So you've got one of those now. How'd the damage go? D4
Fantastic.
plus
So to recap, I've just punched it and wrestling it one more time. 4 plus 4 is another 8 damage coming its way.
So this is a moment when you are straining with the boar. The boar is looking at you with its mad eye, and you are lining up your fist, and you know you are just about to punch it right in the skull. Do you let this animal go, or do you finish this?
I think it's a danger to everyone in the area. I'm going to have to put it down.
Bang! With one mighty fist, you punch it, and there's a crunching sound. And then, of course, the sheer momentum, as remember the boar was flipping up, and bang down onto its back in the forest. You look up, you kind of crawl out from under the boar, and there is Jack going.
Some pork for supper then, laddie?
And he just rushes over. He hugs you. And that is where your legend begins as he rushes back and tells everybody. So, you killed it with a single punch.
Well,
and all the warriors are crowding around.
it was a wrestle and then a punch. You know, not quite as grand as all that, but yeah. If that's how the story wants to be told, then who am I to tell it otherwise?
All right. The Scop stands up. and says, I will say this to you, Eadig. We need such stories. We need such hope in our hearts that God is with us. Do not be humble in these tales. That is not how tales are told. That is not the stories we recall. We recall the tales of heroes and we take hope from them. That was a mighty day, and we know you've done many deeds here. There's always deeds to be done, says a voice from the back of the hall. Saywine has been trading, and she's been trading with a Dane, which is a little controversial because usually Danes are turning up with boats and raiding. But he introduced himself. He said he had goods, and he imposed upon the hospitality of the hall, and because he'd come unarmed and in friendship, your lord let him in. So so this little voice pops up.
What was the call again?
He says that heroes are needed.
Well, as it happens, we got heroes aplenty in here.
The Scop is giving you the stink eye, and indeed, Nut the Old is kind of just leads in and kind of pushes you forwards a little bit, you know. As clearly now I see the followers are all there just to help you deal with your imposter syndrome there, Eadig. They are pushing you forwards. If there is trouble, I will see an end to it, says your lord. What is the problem? I trade, so I can't do a Danish accent, so I'm not going to try. I trade with an island. There is a hermit there, and some followers and servants, a holy man. But I trade with them, but they sent me away quickly. They've fallen upon hard times. A monster has come upon the island, perhaps swum there, and is eating people.
Well, that simply will not stand. If their lives in danger, it's our responsibility to see an end to it. All
right, you hear that? That is the offer we make to those who come to us and ask for aid. So, Eadig! So everyone thinks that this is a tremendous thing. So, right. And the followers, they're up for it, you know. Especially Thormund is like, didn't ask me about the time I wrestled a bear, did you? So they are definitely kind of gathering around. So you will hear from the trader that the island is 2 days sail away along the whale road you will have to take to sea.
And that's what we'll do.
All right. You do have a ship and you have a crew, and of course you have your followers. So in Beowulf, we haven't yet seen your followers because when I surprised you with a prequel fight, you went right back to your origin story. But they'll be with you in future occasions. They have abilities that you can call into play, and you can activate them as a bonus action or a reaction. You can say, Eastmond, hold him down, or otherwise, or Saywin, spear. So you can hold them in to help you. But that is in the future. What we need to do now is to set up your weird, the portents. So we're going to find out what your saga is going to be. So just try to push this around so it's in the camera nicely. All right, forwards. All right. Oh no, that's worse. Okay, talk about yourselves.
There it is. That's a fine looking inspiration, Matt.
Look at that beautiful art, probably by Paul Byrne from Beowulf. You can download this just as a thing to print out. This is the nice mouse mat version. So you're going to have some portents, and that's going to be the beginning of the poem that will be told about this day. So Jackson, you're going to have to get me 2d3. You want to roll those. In the main game, there's a larger portent table, and it's done with d4s, I think. But here, I want you to roll 2d3 for me.
I've got a 2 and then a 1.
2 and 1. Okay, so your first adjective is baleful.
Baleful. As I reach for a dictionary.
Baleful, full of bale, foul, evil, a terrible thing. That means you just gave inspiration to the monster.
Oops.
Thanks for that. Nice one. Okay, let's have a noun. And I think you're working out by now that... no, that was... I've got a little cross chart, matrix.
Right. So first roll was baleful, and then another 2d3?
Yes. Now we're going for another noun.
1-1.
Oh, baleful grief. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Even as you are agreeing, nobody but the scop in the hall, the scop is your skull, your bard, can see that the face of the trader is ashen. Perhaps he's not revealed something about what he saw on that island. So baleful grief. All right, let's see. Let's get another. We'll finish off the first line of our poem, and we're going to start with an adjective. And this could be a short saga if you don't start rolling threes.
I got a 1-3.
All right, ancient.
Ancient.
Ancient, and that is inspiration for your followers.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. And a noun.
And another one? 3-3.
3-3. Winds. Ancient winds. And that is for you.
Thank you.
All right. So that is our portents. Baleful grief. Ancient winds. And that has tremendous significance. And when you want to use inspiration, you have to tell me how this inspiration relates to baleful grief or ancient winds. You can't just say, inspiration because I'm good. It has to be something about any of those words, any of those keywords.
Right, I better make a note of them.
Because that is your portent, that is your weird. These things are known and cannot be changed, except through heroism. So, you are ready to sail.
I sure am. It's baleful grief, ancient winds. Great. Waha! Shall we sail?
All right. So that will be on the morrow, after you have, after you've made all of your preparations and gathered your followers. All right. Now, I do have a bit of a thematic picture. You've got... I'm just trying to resize that. Can you grab that?
I'll grab that, and then I'll resize it, and then I'll show the folks at home what we're looking at.
No, bring it up when we need it. So, so your lord is there upon the headland, and then there are steps carved down. There's some more kind of fishing village far below you, and that is where your ship is. Of course, all your crew are in here. In Beowulf, your crew are just literally extras. So they're the other people in the scene.
Of course.
What do? They row, they put the sail up, and they keep the ship going, and they stay with the ship. Unless, of course, if you're in a nice mead hall with the Lord, and only a terrible person would leave them with the boat when there was tales to be told, poems to be heard, and mead to be drunk. So you have already chosen your followers before the game, and you got your selection of followers because you've started in your own hall. A Beowulf saga can also start in another hall, in which case you kind of have to make do with who's around. So they are getting all their gear. All of them have spears, of course, because you always have a spear in Beowulf. Hashtag get a spear. So there's Nut the Old with his bow. There's Leofgard. So let me see. We got. I don't know if even that's still up at the moment. But there's Nut with his bow there. There's Lofgard, who's kind of the best warrior you have with his spear. Then we've got Saywan with her axe. And then we've got Big Dumb Eastman with his axe, doesn't like to wear a shirt, in the North Sea, bit of a risk, but that's how he rolls. And Thormund, the man who wants your job. Okay, and of course, you are the leader of the crew. Everyone is stern. They are ready. They know what it is to go to sea. You are sailing from the known world. Coastlines are safe. This is a safe harbour. Once you take the whale road, who knows where it will take you? And we know where it will take you, to baleful grief, not our gap year.
With a tinge of ancient
ominous.
Winds, let's be clear.
Yeah, indeed. So the ship, the craft is being loaded with ballast so that it will sit low in the waves. You don't want it to be tossed about as you go. It'll make because you don't have a keel where before keels are there. And then if the ship actually capsizes, all the stones will fall out, and then the ship will right itself. So that's the way the ballast works. So above the ballast, below the floorboards, are all your supplies for your 2 days of voyage. And perhaps there will be no one alive upon that island when you reach it, if there is a monster loose. So you'll have some supplies in there. Sarwan, of course, has her trade goods. She's got them all kind of carefully wrapped to minimise any damage. You've got the mast is there, and the sail is ready to go up. If it's not needed, you just keep it furled, and there are oars, and all of your shields are upon the side, of course, of the vessel. Your shield prominent with your symbol, because people will go, that is Eadig's boat. And all of your followers. There's always, you just have to keep your own Thormund. He's always trying to put his shield kind of just behind yours. That's not where it goes.
Well, the good news is it seems like Eadig doesn't actually use a shield, so his shield is permanently affixed to the boat for decorative purposes only.
Okay, fantastic. Thormund is trying to say, I think we should change the order, and he's literally going to put his shield right next to yours, which is where not the old shield goes. What are you going to do?
Thormund, I have to caution against that. You know that Nut's been with us for a lot longer, and we have to respect our elders and make sure that we heed their advice and let their experience speak for us.
This speaks for me. Strength. But they are wise words. I thought perhaps it was time for a change, but we shall not. And he moves it. All right. So, is there anything else you want to prepare or otherwise make ready before you go?
As long as we've got plenty of supplies to last an extended stay on the island, I think we should be good.
Okay. Do you have a figurehead on this boat? Is there something that symbolises you or your family?
Well, the ship's name is the Messenger. So I guess perhaps maybe a raven would be appropriate. Are there animal figureheads, or are they all like that kind of generic sea monster kind of rar?
This is your ship, and you are heroes, so it would speak to you. But that's a very interesting choice, because the raven is so associated with Woden, with the old ways. That is his bird.
Well, that's fair enough. It's an old ship.
Right, okay, indeed. So that is why you're beloved of the people, Eadig. You're tolerant of old ways, but also certain in your own faith.
For sure.
Faith in the book.
Fair to say.
All right. So you are going to set forward. Now, your initial roll for baleful grief was 2-1. Okay. So you set forth, and now we can see as this fantastic piece of art from Beowulf, there is the messenger riding the waves. I'm just speaking confidently on the basis that you've brought it up by some techno magic.
I've done it.
Excellent, good. I'll just keep on talking here. So off on the Whale Road, leaving that green coast of Northumbria behind you as you are fated, as the Scop sees you go. And you can make a perception roll for me.
I sure can. I'm not particularly perceptive, so we'll call that a 4.
Okay. You do not hear, but he says something and shakes his head and turns and goes back to the meat hall.
Actually, there was a 6, if it makes that any difference.
No, not at all, really.
That's
Actually,
all right.
It was quite stupid. You were trying to hear a man talking on the top of a cliff. But baleful grief. That is, he's very concerned as to what will transpire. So you set forth onto the Whale Road, and the green coast is left behind you, and then the North Sea. The Whale Road does what it does. In comes the darkness and the mists, with the gulls wheeling around, and Cywin just making sure that all her stuff is stowed. Eastmond putting, he's also like you, but he puts his back to the Raven figurehead. Oh, I never liked that bird. He thinks it's an ill omen to be sailing in this, but whereas you respect the story of the boat. Nut the Old is saying, Eadig, I would follow you to the grave, but another voyage and you just might have to roll me into it.
Well, if that's what the portents has for you, Nut, then you'll go with great honour to that grave, and it'll be an honour of my own to bury you.
So he takes the voyages hard because even though he's like wiry and sinewy, he's getting weary. But he still follows you. And when Thormund, of course, hears that, he says, Whale Road's no place for the old. It's the place for heroes.
And we are all...
Not you, the old. I meant old people in general.
Long as he's young at heart, he's got a seat on this ship.
All right, so on you go. Cywin kind of rolls her eyes. And up you down, and the ship is tossed and turned, and the voyage does not go well, and it does not go well because of the portent. So there's a chart here that tells me what happens in the voyage. It's randomized each time, and when you get to the full set of Beowulf rules, it's actually unbelievably easy to spin up a game. You randomize your portent, you can randomize your starting hall, you can randomize your monster, you can randomize so many things about it. If you've just got a bit of a story now, so you can get right into it. And of course, we all know 5e. It's a very familiar system. So, everybody gets sick.
Oh.
The wild sea is tossing, and that chill wind, and it's dark. But they are sick in their hearts, because even though they are brave and loyal, they don't like these omens. They don't like the raven on the boat. They don't like that you've just listened to some Dane who usually are turning up with axes, burning the monasteries. Since when did you listen to Danes? So it's very ill omen. The boat is tossing from side to side. You need to choose 3 followers who get sick.
Oh no.
It's your choice. And they have to make a difficulty 10 constitution rolls. Okay. Followers never get a bonus on their dice. They're just +0. So you tell me who's copping it worst in the storm.
Great. I'll have to pick those who may not be as great in a fight. So we'll go with Cywin because I think she was the trader. Not the old. No offense. I just had some nice things about him. And let's put Leofgid in there as well. So each of them is going to make a con save, is that right?
That's correct. It's difficulty 10, and tell me, let's do them one at a time. We'll start with Nut.
All right, Nut is 18. He's doing fine.
He's wiry, he's tough, and sometimes you get the impression Not the Old makes a big show of being old while watching Thorman carefully. He is a lot more dangerous and canny than he lets on.
Comforting to hear. Saywin.
What about-
Oh, sorry.
Yep, Saywin, yep.
Saywin is out for the count with a 6.
All right. Being a trader, being a merchant, I think what is happening is she's so worried about her gear that she's just getting soaked to the skin, like just being kind of a bit too busy rather than kind of hunkering down. So, yeah, she catches a chill. And what about Leofgood?
She's not spent, is she?
I'll tell you exactly what happens in a minute.
That's fair enough. Leofgood is fine with 12.
All right. So it is Saywin. And, of course, everybody believes a portent. It was Saywin who met the trader. It was Saywin who put you on this voyage. And now she's falling ill. It seems to be cursed. That's not your followers. Your followers are straight up. It's the crew.
Of course.
They're superstitious. They like a grumble. So she's sick. Anything she does will be at disadvantage.
Okay.
All right, so she's going to have disadvantage, but once she succeeds at anything, she'll shake off the cold. So there she is. So the boat is tossed around, and what are you doing to cheer people in this arduous and dark voyage?
I guess if I can read, I would read from the book. Read from the good book.
The good book has not.
The good book is not a book, I believe. It's just like
Exactly.
scratchings of
You've
pieces.
You've heard stories. The stories come from the book. Have you ever seen the book? Maybe yes. You've protected the monks from the raiders. You can't read for nuts, right? But you can absolutely speak. So what cheering story are you telling them?
Well, I think at this stage the book is still like a mix of stories from Old Faiths and legends and tales. But I guess perhaps what's most relevant is the story of the parting of a sea. And about how, a great sea was calmed and the faithful were delivered from being swept away. And we are going to go rescue a hermit, I believe. It could be of the faith as well. So it's a blessed journey all around.
So make a persuasion roll just to buck up people's spirits.
How charismatic am I? I am fairly persuasive, but not enough to overcome a natural 1, I suspect.
So you're getting the details wrong, and Beowulf, the rule set is very comforting. It says,
Excuse me.
don't bother yourself with historical detail. Did they know about Moses at this point? I don't know. You know, and it doesn't matter. It's just as good as works as a film or a TV show. So 13th Warrior, of course, is the best of its kind. So you are trying to tell this story, and there's just spray going in your face, and there's gulls, and it's they get the idea. The story's about like that the seas parted and the boat fell in and crashed on the rocks below, and monsters ate them. So it all takes a bit of a dark turn. So that is somewhat less comforting than you wanted it to be. So you have a miserable night as you are blowing about. You have to take the sail down and it would be shredded. So people are rowing, the spray is going on. And you yourself, of course, are a hero and don't get sick. So you are made of sterner stuff than that.
Are we concerned about Saywin and her con roll at this point?
That is absolutely just in play now. It's going to stay as it is until she succeeds. She is
that's
sick.
right. You did say. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the end of the matter. All right. So the next day passes with no sight of land all around. You're using your lodestone for navigation as best you can to make your way. And of course, you have a navigator among the crew. And as the merchant, the trader gave you the directions, you are doing your best to get there. So, okay. Only one person was sick out of 3. So I'm just thinking about if the voyage has gone very badly, you'll arrive late. But
we certainly, it's gone badly in the sense of the spirits of the crew and the followers. That's for sure. I don't know if that would actually delay us or if
it does delay you.
Of course,
it absolutely delays you, and it means that you arrive at night.
Well, that's fine.
If the voyage has gone well, if there's been good omens, and if you'd rolled a 3-3, it could have been totally different. So every voyage is going to be different. You step on the whale road, you don't know where you're going to end up. So you arrive at night.
Unless I've missed the chance to spend some inspiration, I just realised on that natural one, or is that am I too slow?
This is your inspiration for this whole story.
Oh, the entire... Okay.
That's not coming back.
Excellent.
Right? That is your omen. And look at the monster over here. So you can manufacture inspiration when you have advantage. But yeah, I wouldn't be blowing that right now because of this.
Yeah.
I'm pointing to a camera which might not even be up on Zoom.
I gotcha. I was quick enough on the draw.
Hey!
Hey.
All right. Yeah, excellent. I love working with professionals because I myself am not. So... you can make a perception roll for me. I know it's not your skill, but have a go.
I'll have a go. I'm actually fairly perceptive. I don't roll natural ones. 20. No,
Nat,
sorry. I was looking at persuasion. I got them mixed up in my head. 16.
16 is still fantastic. Now, the other thing about Sarwin is you can see her teeth chattering. All right, you can see she's white, but she refuses to slow down. Like she's still pulling oars. She's just, doing her part. And you know that she's getting ill, and she won't show it.
So when you're driving yourself awful hard there. I need you in peak physical shape when we get there, and we have to go up against some baddie. Would you like
I'm
a
fine.
rest?
I'm fine. No man needs to do my part.
So when it's not my job to assess your health. Only you can do that. But when we get there, you're going to be able to swing a spear. And if the answer's no and you need your rest, then that's the better outcome.
All right, so you're actually being very sensible, and as a trader, she herself understands pragmatism.
I am very persuasive.
I had not thought of that. So she actually leaves the oar bench and wraps herself up in a cloak. So that was so nicely done. I'm actually going to give her another con roll because you've cared for her.
Very kind.
Which is very surprising because usual followers are just like, wheel them in, use them, get rid of them. So you've been very caring. Give her a con roll. She needs 10.
I'm going to stop using this die. One more natural one for the road.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she really is in a poor way.
Well, in that case, get her back on the oar. Spend her anyway.
And there is a tension that your followers are literally skills and powers and resources to use, but they're also in the story. So yeah, you're thinking both technically and in the narrative. So, however, you with your sharp eyes, no one can hear much over the chattering of someone's teeth. You see in the dark ocean a great slab of rock. So a darker patch of night, and just you can hear waves booming against high cliffs. And there is just a small light. And that light tells you many things. It tells you, well, there's still somebody there because the way is lit. And also it tells you that is the safe harbour. We should aim for that. That is where we should land.
All right, we'll make landfall and find out who needs our help.
All right, so you observe the light, and then others see it, and they say, "Oh, thank God!" Or Thor has delivered us, a little bit of a mix among the crew. So everyone's innovated, and they're seizing the oar and kind of rowing in among the surf. But the island is so dark and it's so cold, it does seem indeed baleful. But also playing around those winds. And you get the sense that this is an out-of-the-way island in among the whale road. Few come here. It looks quite deserted. You don't expect that there will be many here. It is the place for a holy man to contemplate the book. So people are now jumping out, and the keel hits the pebbles of the beach and splash as all the crew jump out and start hauling the boat up onto the beach. And then they're opening up the stores, getting out the wooden props, and securing the boat so that it's not going to, if the sea comes up, it won't be kind of swept back down. So everyone is busy, and they're. What are your orders?
Secure the boat. Make sure it's not going to drift away. Make sure all the supplies are still in good order, still dry. Someone needs to keep a lookout. Make sure we don't have any unexpected guests arriving. Let's take stock, and it's the middle of the night, right?
Yeah. Which follower do you want us to post as your lookout?
I think someone with a bow. I believe someone had a bow. I know we were just looking at the miniatures, but that's all right.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Not the old.
Oh, not the old had the bow. All right. Well, apparently he's hard of hearing, but hopefully not hard of sight.
No. He'll. And you know, even though he's wiry and tough, like, you know, it's good to have him on watch. He's very sensible. So just give him a bit of a perception. It's just a roll of probably a 15 in the dark.
Well, it has a 2.
Okay. Well, he's. It's very dark. You know, he's keeping a watch out as best he can, and. Sharper eyes are needed in such times, mutters Thormund, going past carrying some wood. As you get that sense of the large kind of high island, you're at the base of the cliff, that dark isle above you. But you do know that there is a light up there. And you can still see that shining. And now that you've pulled the boat up, you can see indeed that there are some steps carved and a bit of a path. There is definitely a way from the beach up to the light. This is what the Danes said. A ruined tower up there.
I don't over much like the idea of stumbling around in the dark, tripping on things and getting ambushed by whatever it is on this island. I'm inclined to bed down here for the night, set off first light.
All right, so the crew are now kind of bringing out their own stores of wood and unwrapping them and making a fire. And they are, everyone is preparing. So you are once again being practical and pragmatic.
And not all that heroic.
So there's Thormund, you know. Yeah, right, stay the night. Could be dangerous, eh?
I'll take your counsel if you're offering it, Thormund, but if you're not...
Well, we heard that a monster was killing people, and the way to stop a monster from killing people is to find it and kill it. But I am just here to carry your burdens.
All right, well...
And he goes back to carrying some burdens.
Is it too early to introduce some democracy? No, that's lame, isn't it? That's too lame.
That is. It is. You what you say goes.
All right.
And if you want to round on him,
I don't like it. I don't like it. Rather bed down for now. Saywan needs the rest anyway, and we can't very well leave her to look after the boat on her own.
That is a sensible advice, says Nut. We will be fresh, and no sense breaking our necks. And Thormund, as for monsters, it would be good to be fresh because we have not forgotten the time that bear knocked you on your ass. And like Foreman's always
Neither
talked
has
about,
he.
he wrestled this bear, and clearly Nut has it. So I think we will listen to what Eadig has to say, for he's wise, and face this challenge together, Thormund. I fear you have grown a little cold. And Thormund kind of pulls his head in and says, oh, yeah, of course, of course. So you are all you're setting up your fire, you've got the boat secured, you're having some food, and that light is moving down the cliff, like drifting down. No, it's zigzagging down. And you can see that a large person is carrying the lantern coming down the cliff path. And a huge man.
We have a visitor. Let's make sure they know we're friendly.
All right, so as the lantern is reflecting his features, and he's very well built, but he's a simple man, he's not a warrior, looks more like a builder. And he says, you are not raiders, and you are not traders. The Dane said he would find a hero and send back to us. Is that you?
They call me Bald Eadig, and I've sailed here with my followers from Northumbria. And I've come to deliver you from a monster.
God be praised. And that is where we will finish episode 1 of Beowulf, the Hermit Sanctuary,
Hurrah.
featuring Jackson as Bald Eadig, and myself, Mark, as everybody else. Thank you for joining us.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I think this is a tremendous game. You can download the whole adventure. Spoilers! Not you, Jackson. I've told you once. It's a free download or pay what you want. And this has got the characters, a whole bunch of characters to choose from, and all the core rules, and fantastic art. I say knocking my camera, making everyone sick. And the full rulebook has gone out to the Kickstarter backers and will be available on drive-thru on February the 16th. But we will be back next week to find out what terrible thing, how baleful is the grief. We will discover it. So thank you, one and all.
Thank you all.
See you then.
We'll see you very soon.
Okay.